Good evening and welcome to Know Your Purpose. I'm Dr. Stacy Venable. I am the owner of the Business Suites at Brass Mill, the owner of all three Business Suites at Brass Mill. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you guys. So, even the one that's opening on Monday. Can you believe that? Our new executive office is opening on Monday. Come on by and see us. Tonight, I'm in the building with these two. I'm just letting you know it's going to be a good night. Grab your paper and pen because they're going to be dropping a lot of great nuggets. So before we get into that stuff, we have to do some housekeeping. I want to put out there this disclaimer to all of you who are watching tonight. These are our views, our opinions. We are claiming it. We're standing 10 toes down in it. If there's something that you do not agree with, disagree to disagree, or you could always do something else, surf the web for something else that entertains you. But tonight, we are coming and we're going to bring fire. We're going to bring transparency. We're going to bring it all right to you in your living room, or if you're in your bathroom, wherever you are. Wherever you are, we're going to do that for you tonight. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be in the middle of two great, inspiring entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, they are making their mark on the industry. I am so happy to be one of them. I'm just one right now, but I'm sure the other one will come soon. They're business coach, and we are hitting the margin. When I tell you we are taking off and we are exploding, make sure you stay tuned to us. We're going to drop some information that these two, you can get in touch with these two. These two tonight are going to be talking about the new mentorship program that they are merging together in. Mr. Zeno here already has started a mentorship program, and Mr. Chiles here has also been working with young youth and mentorship. So tonight, if you have any youth, I want you to come closer to whatever device you have, because I want to make sure that you understand where we're coming from and why we're coming from there, okay? So, further ado, Mr. Chiles in the building, 12 rounds with Chiles.
Already cut up.
This is it right here. Been trying to cut up since we got here.
You already know. I'm bringing the energy.
Bring the energy. We want to know all about, he's been on my show before. He brought the energy then. I have challenged him to be better. And he did not only meet the challenge, but he went over top, above and beyond. And that is one thing that we need from a lot of young Black males. Yes. We need you guys. We're losing the battle. And we want to be honest, right? We're going to be transparent.
Very true.
We're losing the battle, but we're going to do something about that. And we're doing something about that.
Definitely.
So, Mr. Chiles, tell us what you're doing about it.
Definitely. So, as everyone knows, I'm a boxing coach. That's my day-to-day is boxing. But I've gotten the chance to hook up with some good people. I met Zeno.
Absolutely.
That allowed me to get within the school system. And that's going to make it go pow.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Because now that's another reach. I'm in the city of Baltimore every day, reaching out to the kids down there. I've been doing that almost I think I've been in Maryland for about 7 years now. And since the first year, I've been down there boxing, taking kids out of state, feeding kids. We go feed the homeless. We take kids to Six Flags. We have done a lot of stuff. But other than that, outside of that, I've had the chance to sit down and talk. When you move to Baltimore, I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, like we said before. But when you move to Baltimore, you learn it's different.
It's way different.
It's different.
It's way different.
I was meeting kids that were a part of the riots, kids that deal with, and then I get to see it on both sides too, because we also have police officers that we deal with, firefighters that we deal with, and I try to mix the two.
Yes, you do. You do a good job at that, because we just had Walter on, didn't we? Yep. And he is a firefighter.
He's a firefighter.
Shout out to him. He's getting ready to do something big too.
Definitely, yeah. I think he got a fight
coming up. Upcoming. Shout out to you, Walt. We're watching. We're supporting. We're loving. Definitely. We're throwing it out to the fire department that you're working with. I'm watching them too.
Baltimore City.
Baltimore City Fire Department. We with y'all. Way up here in Hartford County.
Hey, but they support us though.
They support us. Yes, they do.
They watched a lot of the show. And my man Arlen, he's a big time fire chief up there. I think he's been with the fire department over 20 years.
So we supporting, we rocking.
So we supporting, but it helps me show the kids something different.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Not every police officer is crooked, even though that's what we see on TV. That's what we see on the news every day. But there are good brothers out there that are looking to do the same thing that we are doing, and they want to help. You know what I'm saying?
That's the motive behind every means.
They looking for an avenue. And that's why I come in. I'm gonna give you the avenue.
You gonna give me the avenue?
I'm gonna give you the avenue.
I don't know. You haven't failed me yet, but and listen. When Chiles met me, the first thing he said was, "Oh, I heard you were gonna be hard, but I'm up for the challenge."
What I say? I ain't scared.
He said, I ain't scared. I don't know. I've seen him be a little scared here and there, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Transparency is my thing. But I love the interaction that we have together. There's nothing that we have not sat down and put to paper that we have not put in motion. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the biggest things. If we are going to set ourselves up, we need to be making sure that we are able to deliver. Definitely. Because the worst thing to do is to invite someone to your home and you not be there. And what do I mean by that? The worst thing for us to do is implement programs and not follow through. That's where the doubt comes in. That's where the fear comes in. And Mr. Zeno, we want to allow you to talk a little bit about that because you're in the school system and you see that firsthand. He got to see it in the streets of Baltimore, where he's working with underprivileged children who don't even get the last meal that they get is from him. Right. So that's all the way up until they get to you in the school. So we want to talk about some of the challenges. First of all, we want to have you talk about yourself. And then we want to have you talk about piggyback off some of the challenges that James has just shared with us.
Got you. I run the Young Men on Tour program at Aberdeen Middle School.
Yeah, so Aberdeen, we're in the
building. And so we have this is our 11th year we're going on right now. This October we get 11th year
11
that
years.
We started, myself and Coach Blackwell.
Wow.
We decided to come together, with this plan to help at-risk males that we have in our school system. So the at-risk males, that's a big variety of there right there. As you know, we have whether it be homeless or disruption in the home, that type of thing. And just the fact that just letting them know that we're here for you to guide you both socially, emotionally, and academically. Right.
So that's big. All three of those things are big. All three of those things are what we're struggling in. And have you seen the increasement of the flow of young men that need you more and more?
Yes, that doubles up like every year.
Every year.
This is always the case. Like we deal with our students. Of course, our program is called Young Men on Tour, and that's because we want to. They're in boyhood right now.
Absolutely.
Our young men don't hardly have anybody in there to teach them to be a man as well too. So that's what we have to take up there to be that father figure and that voice for them, to show them and guide them to this boyhood, to what's going to take to be a man by the time you get through high school, college, whatever career you choose to take after that.
Yeah, because all of them are not going to choose the career of athletics.
Oh yeah.
All of them are not going to choose the career of entrepreneurship. All of them are not going to choose the career of corporate life. Some of them will just choose mediocre. But even in mediocre, when my son started working at Subway for his first job, I told him, you're going to be the best Subway maker you can be. So planting the seed early, can help devise what we go through in the real America. Because there is something called a real American and there is something called a fake America, right? And we tend, social media makes it look really, really good. Yeah. And I believe it was it you I was speaking to about how social media makes things look a certain way?
Yes.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Because I know
it paints a picture of glitz and glamour.
Yes.
This is how life's going to be. Without putting in the work, it's going to fall out, fall on your lap like ripe cherries from a tree, that type of thing. But it
is because I mean it's everyone's best moments, their greatest moments, their best picture out of 100. It's all the great things, and so a lot of them it doesn't make sense to them yet. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the grind. But I think that one thing that we do is we try to make young men into men too fast.
Yes. Slow down.
Because when you get older, sometimes you wish you could go back and do something.
Absolutely. Even me as a woman, I wish that I would have slowed down. I mean, I had my first son when I was 15.
Wow.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And went on in life, and everything was so expedited that I know that somewhere along the line I fell short. Well, I don't know what I'm going to claim it tonight. Right. Somewhere along the lines, I fell short as a mother. I fell short as a wife. I fell short as a sister. I fell short as a friend, because everything was so elevated so quick. Instead of me,
that's life, though.
It is called life. But if we can do anything to make life better for these young men and young women too, but you guys are working with young men, but we don't want to forget that for every man that you model, every woman will appreciate.
Very true.
Can I say that again?
Yeah, very true.
For every man that you guys model, there is a woman that will appreciate that. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I was talking to about about today with some of my young people, where how, you know, men don't open doors anymore, how men don't that chivalry piece, how they don't pull chairs out, and how she's supposed to stand on a certain side of you.
That's
you
right.
know, and the young man said, what?
It's a compliment.
It's the thank you. And I told her, I said, it's not because we want the lead, no, it's to compliment you.
Right.
We're supposed to be there to compliment you.
Right.
All these things need to be taught. And one thing that I feel like that they're taking away from men is their emotion to understand that it's okay not to be okay.
Right.
That Plymouth Rock pride thing,
Right.
it's really, and being a mother of kings, I try to raise my sons to understand that it's okay not to be okay.
Right.
Oh,
definitely.
And this ego thing that these men aren't winning at, they're not winning at it. But we still continue on. So some of the programs and some of the things that you guys are going to put in place, you guys are going to talk about some of those things and how just the everyday life.
Yes.
We can, I mean, they're educated, don't get me wrong, because the school system is supposed to be doing that, right?
Right.
But nobody is, they're supposed to be doing that, right? I mean, I'm an educator, I'm a professor, and I try to do the best that I can.
Yeah.
But nobody is teaching them about the chivalry.
Right.
How are you guys going to do that in the dynamics of you two joining together?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chiles is going to bring more of the athletic piece, and you're going to stick tight to the nurturing and education and moving forward with the academics. But how are you two going to merge this thing together? Either one of you.
So to be honest, to me, it's all about how you show up every day. If I show up, I stand up, man, with my head high, my shoulders back, confident, strong. It rubs off on the people around you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to show them. You got to show them because they're not getting that outside of what we bring to them. You know what I'm saying? So first we start by being stand-up men ourselves. First we stand up by being I don't want to sound bad, but we show that we're emotional men too.
Absolutely.
You
There is nothing, and me being an older woman, being older than the both of you, but you know, still looking like, you know, I look and everything. You know how that goes, you know how I look and everything. I think it's nothing more daring than to see a man show emotion into shedding a tear. When you shed a tear, so many things, the dopamine in your brain, so many things get elevated and pushed out the way. Right. And now we can really truly show who we really are.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
I, as a woman, welcome it because it makes me feel as though I can cry too. And we're both on some type of level here. Yeah. The other day we had an issue with a young man and he was right here and up at the end of the street, and he got stopped by the police, and you know it's on my property. So the first thing I did was walked up there just to see what was going on. Right. And he was so hardcore, like, you know, and I'm like, whoa, bro, what's going on? I said, listen, he's just asking you a question. And you could just easily answer the question. Right. And he was so hard. And the good thing about it is the police officer said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down beside you. He said, I'm going to sit 6 feet away from you. But I just want to talk to you. He said, because you've been wandering around here all day. People been calling all day. Like, how can we help you? And he was like, Dr. Venable, would you mind if we came into like one of your buildings and maybe sat down? It's really, really hot out here. I was like, sure, come on in. And come to find out, this young man was just having a hard time. And it took about a half an hour for us to figure out he was having a hard time. And finally, that one single tear dropped. And then it was just waterworks. And, you know, kind of find out he was a long way from home. He lives here with his aunt. The aunt and him had an argument, and the aunt never told him he had to leave. Right. But he wanted to take it upon himself to leave with no plan. Exactly. So it was great but getting them in that comfortable place. Yeah. How are you guys going to work that?
You have to let them know it's okay.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, that's the thing like that. It's okay to feel the way you feel in that moment.
Definitely.
It's all right to show that emotion. Because we have to have those emotions at the time. And again, you have to show that you're going to be there for them in that same sense. Yes. Now, they may mess up. Of course, that's what's going to happen. They're children too. We all mess up.
Oh, yeah.
In the same sense, though, you have to know that I'm going to still be there for you.
Absolutely.
Yes, you did this. Yes, this happened. Okay, now let's move forward from this part right here. Now, how are we going to do better? So we don't want to try to make this mistake again. And if it does happen again, let's again go over it again, what we're going to do, because I'm still here for you.
Right.
That plan of action is everything.
It is.
That plan of action is everything. So you two are going to collaborate to make sure that these things, the only thing that I have a problem with, and I think I was talking to you too before we started the show, we were clowning a lot. We were having a good time. Accountability.
Yes.
That word is very strong.
Definitely.
And I know you two, your program is going to be starting in
October.
October. And I just want everybody out there to know that I support this movement. I literally met Mr. Zeno. I was given an award there at Aberdeen for community service and all the outreach that I do. And not only does I do, but I do it in the name of Dr. Stacy Venable and also in the name of the Business Suites of Brass Mill. And I met him and Dr. Thornton said, listen, I'm trying to tell you, you need to meet him. You need this. I mean, she literally kept telling me about this young man and the great work he was doing. And I just wanted to know like how I could help, what I could do. And then sitting down talking to Mr. Chiles, I said, Mr. Chiles, I said, listen, this light bulb just went off in my head, like two great men, and you guys are both kind of doing the same thing. And it's in the world of entrepreneurship. You know, I'm just going, can we be honest here? You know, the first thing, I don't want him to steal my shine. I ain't trying to do this, and I ain't trying. It's so, but it happens
all the time.
And I'm glad you actually said that as well too, because it shouldn't be that way at all either. Because it's like we building each other up.
Right.
That's the thing. We a community, we a family, we a village. We got to build each other up. Something I said this to James as well too. Sometimes something I say might not get to that child at that time, but he'll come across and say something that has something to do, and that child go right to him. Right. That's good. You're doing what you got to do. And I'm like, because he's going to get it regardless. So it's like, no, we in it together, and we're in it together. I want to congratulate you, and commend you when you're doing your thing. Right.
Exactly. I just had to bring that out there because you know that it is true and it is a factor. And it was great to bring the both of you together on a thought process that I had, but you two already were implementing it.
Right.
And the reason why I did that is because I took a poll of young Black men. I think I shared that with you. I took a poll of what young Black men and what young Black women were facing and what did they need from the community. Right. Me being a community activist, I can't help you if I don't know what you need.
Right.
I need to hear this. And I need to hear the good, bad, and indifferent. I need to hear it. And they were saying that it's not enough programs. It's not enough older Black men that are really wanting to stick in here with me. Right. Like I really probably could have done more if I had a dad in the picture. But back in my time, and probably y'all time too, Uncle Dub and Uncle this and Uncle that, Uncle Buddy and Uncle whoever, Uncle Rick, they stepped in when Dad wasn't there. But we don't even have those uncles anymore because the uncles is younger than the siblings. The uncles younger than the siblings. I'm not gonna step into that. I don't know how that's happening. But the uncles is younger than the siblings. So it's hard. So we don't have that officer friendly, Officer Smiley no more. Because remember, he used to be like, you better get about that street corner because if you don't, I'm gonna go tell your mama. Right. We don't have that anymore.
We had strong communities because your parents knew the neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I remember listening to my parents and they would say, even the neighbors disciplined us.
Oh yeah. I got me and my twin brother. He's on the property. I can tell you, we got spanked by the neighbors all the time. Right. I got my legs switched all the time because we was always up to something. We was always up to something. Listen, believe 90% of what they say because it was true because we was up to something. The other 10 we just got whooped for no reason. Right. I'm just trying to tell you, my mama some days she just said, just come on and get beat by 4 o'clock because I know y'all want to do something. She said, I'm out of energy after that, right? Yeah. But the thing about it is, and that was one of the things that I heard from both sides, from young girls to young men. And I want everybody out there to know, because I know I'm going to get a ton of phone calls. I'm going to get a ton of emails, and I'm even going to get a ton of everything. Why are you promoting this for the young men? And the reason why I'm promoting for the young men first is because their poll was higher than the young women. So but we are going to do something about that as well. Definitely. But the need for me to make sure that I have a young man that's going to lead and guide until the day is done for my granddaughter. Because I'm setting the precedent stage for her. She's only 7, but I want to make sure that even and you start from the crib on up. Yeah. You're going to be a good man for her. That's right. Because if you're not, we're going to have all kinds of problems because everybody's ran into a good man and everybody's ran into a good woman, and everybody's ran into a knucklehead, and everybody's ran into a shearer who acts a whole fool. Okay, but if we can prevent some of those things by making sure that they're educated, nurtured, loved, and you can love in these programs.
Definitely.
Yes.
That word love just went out the door.
Yeah.
Because when those kids come into school, they don't expect you to love them.
Oh yeah.
They don't expect you to care for them.
Right.
They expect you to just treat me the same way I've been being treated, like nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
So I mean,
because again, they might not be getting it from home either.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's
the
right.
home is dysfunction, is broken, and again, since being in the school system, we see what this was going on with the students. We see they come in hungry.
Yeah.
They come in angry. They come in mad sometimes. And
Right.
then it's like you got to come here and deal with educator who doesn't see that because the educator is just there for that check and that time frame to do that job.
Let's talk about that.
And then it's like now this student is a behavior problem.
Right.
Why is the student acting this way? There's something going on with this child right now, but you don't want to take time to see what's going on because again, you're just focused on what you're here to do, and that's when we come in.
Right.
And stuff like that. So again, yes, and our students respond to us different.
Mm-hmm.
My males respond to me different because they understand that I'm there for them.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it's just like I know you can contest this as well too.
Definitely.
They respond to you different.
They do.
Because you are probably the only male figure, male role model, father in their life.
Right. Right. I mean, you showing them love. They can relate to you.
Right.
Because a lot of them, we look alike. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? It's a stand-up black man that looks like me, that's showing me something other than being a rapper, showing me something other than being a somebody on the street being hard. He's going to get it. He's what I want to be to a lot of these guys. That's kind of how they look at us. So, and I'm gonna be honest, it's no better feeling than the relationships that you build with these kids when they take to what you're giving them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, I Dr. Bridget, yes, she says, if I eat, we all eat. Pull each other up.
That's always
And that's what I'm saying.
Dr.
That's what I've done here. I've taken my own time and pulled these two together. He didn't know me. Mr. Zeno didn't know me. Mr. Chiles didn't know me when we started. But now we're all working to bring that up. And another thing that we have to do, we have to be that I am person to these young people. We just have to be that I am person. Everybody should have an I am person in their corner. And that I am person should be it could be the tissue wiper, the I'm going to get in your tail, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I am person that's going to hold you accountable to what you deserve in life. And everybody, my show is Know Your Purpose for this reason, because everybody was born and created with a purpose.
Right.
Whether you want to set accountability for your purpose, that's on you. But if we lay the correct foundation and we're doing our part and you don't take it and perceive it and use it and be productive with it, then there's just, but don't say we didn't offer it.
Right.
See, that's my problem right now, is that these youth are saying we're not offering it.
Right.
So that's one of the downsides to this, to just being out here. And another thing, I'm in a big on polls and stuff like that. Y'all know that.
Well, that's because
you're
doctor.
Oh, okay, I'm a doctor.
Right.
But not everybody is going to make it. And I want you to contest to this, because one of the things that I read is that I think it was CNN that did a polling on football. You know, I'm into this football thing. I don't know a lot about football. I'm letting y'all know I'm just an engineer for a device for football. I'm just an engineer.
Congratulations.
This is scientist. This is scientist that pulled together the information.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me here. We are teaching these young men the fundamentals of sports, but not the fundamental of care.
So I think that kind of goes hand in hand. I played football growing up. I played all the sports. I really say that from being on a team, it showed me how to work with the team on my job, going through the ups and downs, because every day you don't feel like going to practice. Every game you play, you're not gonna win. Every day is not a good day. Some days you come in, the coach loves you. The next day you come in, the coach is putting foot to, you know what? It teaches you about life. Life is the same way. We got some good days. We wake up, everything feels good. I'm 34 now, so I wake up and some days don't feel like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
yesterday was a hard day for all of us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yesterday was a hard day.
It teaches you.
I'm sorry, maybe not, but it was for us.
But I mean, it teaches you how to get through these struggles. Because even though yesterday was bad, I still got to make it to practice the next day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it gives you some structure because you know you have a time and a place to be there. And if you're not there on time, there will be consequences for your actions.
That is
you
life.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that is life.
It gives you structure. So that's always my thing with athletics is that you will see that most athletes that have been a part of these teams or played sports while growing up have a structure. You know what I'm saying? Unless some people just got it. Like you meet some people, they don't need to be on no team. Their parents gave it to them, or they just have this mind frame where they're just structured.
Oh, it's something
You know what
about the
I'm
mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mindset for a minute. Let's talk about the mindset. The mindset of these young men that you guys are going to be working with, they're already been endowed. They already been put in place. How are we going to change the mindset? Because these young men are in this program because they have a need.
Right.
Something is lacking. How are we going to change their mindset?
And you got to get to know them first. First and
Absolutely.
foremost, that's how it is like that. Know them inside out as much as they can. Once they're comfortable with you and you teach them that self-respect, they'll know how to have the respect for anybody else, including authority, and how it goes. So it's like you have to watch them because you just can't jump on them. And I learned this.
Yeah.
Like you just can't just get at this kid or say this, that, and the third to them. Like we don't know what's going on. But again, we don't know what their mind frames, but they're already taught already, what they already learned.
Right.
Be in the home or in the
That
streets.
learned behavior is hard to break. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And even to learn, when people come into me for me to be their business coach, the first thing that I tell you guys is like, you got to come in ready for a changed mindset, because evidently you're coming to me for me to help you because your mindset, whatever way you were doing it, it isn't working.
Right.
So the first thing I do in challenge them is, listen, you're here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose.
Right.
But if you can't change your mindset to understand that we have to explore all options and make you better at what you're doing, then it's no need for you to be here.
Right.
And when children, younger people,
they only know one
thing. One thing. So that's what makes it so challenging for you two.
Right.
It's going to make it so challenging. And they could have two better people up for the challenge.
Well, you know,
could have two better people up for the challenge. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you could have two better people up for the challenge. You're welcome. Okay, I'm glad I'm right with you today, James. But the good thing about it is, I think that you guys are on the right road. Because life is just not a journey. Because you have to get on the road in order to get onto the journey. And I think a lot of kids are out here and they're just all over the place. They don't have a journey. And you know what that turns into? Dysfunctional men. It turns them into dysfunctional husbands. It turns them into dysfunctional employees.
Yeah.
It turns them into dysfunctional friends. It turns them into dysfunctional pastors. It turns them into dysfunctional bag boys, flight attendants. That word dysfunctional.
Yeah.
It turns you into that. And a lot of men that are angry, they're angry about something that happened when you guys had them at that age. Let's talk about that.
That trauma.
Trauma, I was just going to say, let's talk about that word. Let's talk about that word trauma and how we're going to deal with that. Again, me supporting the both of you and anything that you need from me, you guys already know. But how are we going to deal with the trauma? Because let me explain why I'm asking you both this. COVID came out of the blue.
Yeah.
These kids were traumatized.
Right.
These kids were traumatized. You have a child that 85% of children need face-to-face education.
Right.
85%. And then you might have the rest of them that will, maybe even 5% of them skate through because they're just okay with it.
Right.
But we have people that have special needs along with people who just can't do that. I have some students right now, they drop my course because they're like, Doc, we need to see your energy.
Right.
Like you're not giving us no energy on the screen. I'm trying to be as energetic as I can, but they said, you know what, we'll take it when COVID's over. You know what I mean? So my numbers decline because my pay goes by making sure I got all them seats filled, right? So I'm like, well, that's, it's not my fault, but the trauma that these kids are going through, we don't know what winter is going to hold for us.
That's right.
We don't know what winter is going to hold for us. How did you relate to the kids after coming back off of COVID and the trauma that they went through? Again,
I just listened. Again, we just had conversations. We talked. If I could relate to what was going on with them, I related to them. Yeah. So like this happen to me. but this is what you probably can do right here. There's
Mhm.
certain things you could do: meditate, pray,
Mhm.
whatever else is
Absolutely.
needed. Be like, let's just walk through this. Let's go through this together if
Right.
we need to. But other than that, it's just just listening too. Sometimes you don't gotta say nothing. You just
Yeah.
gotta be the ear to listen.
Yeah, because I know for a fact that my guys had a really rough time with it. Not only that, like being just abruptly stopped
Mhm.
in something that you were like striving really hard, because you have some of those students, and I remember my niece, she struggled,
Yes.
and she was an A student, and she struggled.
Right.
You know, like this is not for me. This is not for me.
Right.
And how did you feel when COVID came? Because you have some of those young people who
say socially,
Mhm.
they all fell off as well too, for
Yes.
the most part, because they didn't know
Right.
how to socially interact.
Right.
By the time we got back in,
That's
just
true.
like just having a regular conversation.
Yes.
Wow.
One
You know,
person
I didn't even think
know
about that.
Again, they just don't know. It's just like
Right.
because they're used to most of them being on social media,
On social
That's it.
media.
communicating that way. So when we're having a regular conversation,
Okay.
we can't even
Okay.
have that.
Right. But
They
to
have to
tag back,
re-implement
I didn't even
that.
think about
and
that.
that's true. And to tag back on that, the one thing that I always talk about that I really hate is how now we can go to Royal Farms, we go to any store. I don't have to talk to anybody. I just get my stuff and I walk out
Oh
of it.
yes.
Right. I hate
I will not go to anything self-serve.
Right.
No,
It's-
because yeah, I it is my right, it is my privilege to buy these groceries and you put them in the bag. It is, and then for you to hand them to me and for me to say thank you, for me to
Yes.
walk up and say, hey, how are you? How was your day?
Right.
And for you to respond back. I don't like it. And then don't get me wrong, every once in a while, you know, when I'm running in there for something, I gotta
yeah.
quickly get
I
through.
gotta go,
But I literally like that one-on-one, because you don't know what that person has gone through.
That's true.
That and let me tell you, anybody out there in media land that deals with me, and even on a personal level, they know the first thing I say is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and even this one right here, he'll hit me back. Oh yeah, and by the way, good morning.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Because I wasn't corresponding anymore until I got that. But you don't know what that salutation had just done.
Yes.
You know, because again, you don't know what this world is getting really crazy. It was crazy then, but it's crazier now.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't know what they're going through. So that salutation, and now everything through text messages. One of the things that my boss told me the other day, he called me back. We were back. I've been working for this man for 17 years. Yes, Richard, you working for you for 17 years. Don't be like that guy from Burger King. But then again, go ahead and be like that guy from Burger King. They gave that man $3 million. The one that retired from Burger King and they only gave him that little cup and that little pin or whatever. They did a GoFundMe page for boy, and he got $3 million. I was like, see, Richard, don't do that. Don't do that, because I might capitalize. I've been working for you for 17 years. But one thing he said to me, we were going back and forth, and it didn't end well. Remember, I told you yesterday I had a bad day. It didn't end well. But at the end of the day, cooler heads prevailed. And you know what he said? Let's not do this texting, because I can't see your emotion.
Right.
I can't see your body language.
Take it how you want to take it.
There's nothing in this. There's nothing. It's just blanket words with no author.
Right.
You know, so I want to urge people. We're getting off top a little bit, but I want to urge people to pick up the phone and communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is the key to every dividable situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you sitting here, you might be assuming something about him, and I'm assuming about you, and we all assuming that we all wrong.
Right.
We're all wrong. And we all had the $1 million answer, and we all go home with nothing.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Yeah.
We all going to go home with nothing. So when we're effectively communicating with our young people, because I don't see people doing that anymore either.
No.
You know, when I'm
they communicate, but not effectively.
No. And I remember walking home from school, and Mr. Jim would be on the corner every day. Mr. Jim's yard faced the sidewalk, and he would always say, "How was school today?"
Mm-hmm.
And some days I'll be like, "It was okay." He said, "Well, what was okay about it?"
Right.
And you know, he embarked in that conversation. And then my brother be kicking rocks. Boy, you know you ain't supposed to be kicking that rocks. What did you do today? My brother said nothing. He said, I already knew you did nothing. Because Mr. Jim had got into that mode of making sure at 3:45 we'd be all the time sitting out there, because he wanted to know what we were doing. We don't have that anymore. So by bringing this mentorship program together, tell us how it's going to work, like what day it's going to be, the hours of operation. And right now we only have this for Aberdeen Middle School.
Yes.
Right now, I'm telling you, I'm putting some stuff in the works. I'm challenging these men. I really am. Tell us how the program is going to work. And listen, I want y'all to understand, I am so excited about this program.
We're gonna rock.
And y'all know I've been saying that, right?
Yeah.
And I know I've been pushing y'all. I know I have been pushing the both of you.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing you to because I see greatness. I see greatness sitting beside me. I get excited when like minds. Let me tell you something. Don't be the smartest friend in the bunch.
That's right.
Don't be the smartest friend. If you got some homeboys and you the smartest, sir, you're wasting your time. It is a problem. Sir, if you're the smartest guy in the group, it's time for you to do a couple of things. Can this old lady tell you what that's old but cute, right?
Talk to me, Doc. Talk to
Let
me.
me tell you something. It is time for you to change your mindset. It's not their fault. It's your fault.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
And people come and challenge me all the time. Oh, you just think you're smart because you're a doctor. Yes, 28 years of school. 28 years of school, 8 degrees later. Yes, yes. And you know, that used to hurt my feelings when people say, oh, you just think you know it all. You just because you're a doctor. You know what? This week I decided, hell yeah! I'm going to stand 10 toes down there because if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to figure it out or I'm going, listen, I'm a fact finder. That's what scientists do. They're fact finders. Right. So if I have a fact, and I know it's a fact, I'm going to stand on it. Your opinion is yours, right?
That's right.
But I'm going to stand on it. And, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, I got tired of hearing people say that. And, you know, I didn't used to say anything. I'd be like, okay, whatever, that's your opinion. Now I'm going to start saying something because, you know, I just paid that degree off. So now, listen, now it's mine. Y'all know I'm going to take ownership. When y'all get them degrees and y'all still got them student loans and all that, don't you take ownership of that because it ain't yours yet. When you get that little final notice up in there and they say loan paid in full, hey, my loan was paid in full. So now I'm going to do and say what I want to say. Okay, the license on my thing says Dr. Stacy Venable. What a license number? Wait a minute. What happened? Now I can look. The other day I got my box. They said you are now official. I kept the box. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I done kept the box. I'm gonna put it in my new office. Stop playing with me because I'm now official. Right. But the point that I'm trying to make to you two is I appreciate you two allowing me to lead you.
Thank you.
Because not a lot of Black men want to be led by Black women.
I think it's a pride thing sometimes. That's man, we deal with a lot of pride, but sometimes you got to learn to put your pride to the side because it's a bigger picture.
It is. Yeah. It is such a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is us working with these youth. And that's why I keep telling you two, if you two are the smartest in the room, you got to leave that room. Mm-hmm. Because the problem is you done got comfortable. You ain't got comfortable taking the lead. Mm-hmm. Because you are able to take the lead because you know everybody else is beneath you. And you just trying hard not to say that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Your body language after a while is going to show up. It's going to show up. Mm-hmm. Now, I was sitting in the room with a bunch of people the other day, and there was a bunch. I said, "Oh Lord, it's time for me to get up out of here because y'all know my mouth has been went crazy, right?"
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Bell.
Dr. Bell, what did you say here? Go ahead. You want to read it out like you said? Oh, if you're the best player in the gym, go find a new gym. Father of the last, what is that? Heisman Trophy. Okay. Heisman Trophy winner. Yes. Yes. That's it. Doc understands what I'm talking about. Yeah, Doc understands what I'm talking about. That's right. And I'm challenging you two. Mm-hmm. I have watched you two. You don't know that I be watching, but I be having people watch you for me. You know my
That's
team.
one that's watching me right now.
Yes. Dr. Bell, now I'm trying to tell you, okay? I've been watching.
Well, we got eyes on us.
We are in us, Dr. Bell, as educators. We are in the business of educating. We are in the business of pushing our men forward. We're in the business of standing on the front lines. I will stand on the front line. It does not matter to me because the bigger picture, as you said, James, is our youth. The bigger picture for me is to know that we got another Barack on his way. It's the bigger picture for me to know that we have put so many engineers, so many scientists, every platform that we have in the United States of America literally has someone of that looks like us taking charge.
That's right.
Down to a vice president taking charge. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have to keep that drive. We have to keep that momentum. That's right. And the way we do that is by bringing in inspiring movements, activities, mentorship. When we're doing that, We're doing that. So we're going to talk about how their day at Aberdeen Middle School will run. We're going to talk about all those good things, and we're going to let Mr. Zeno start off, and then Mr. James will chime in and let you and Mr. James.
Oh, no,
okay.
go
Great,
first.
awesome.
Our day at Aberdeen starts with Young Men on Tour. We always do homework first. That's the first priority.
That's the best thing.
So
homework
we do homework
first.
about 30, 40 minutes or so. And depending on the day, if I have a guest speaker or a guest person. So one thing about Young Men on Tour, we have 8th grade that I will do elections with. We elect the president, vice president, and sergeant of arms. So they give them responsibility.
That is awesome.
Because what I always want, and myself and Mr. Coach Blackwell, we do with them, we have them take over, because we're there mentoring, we're there being the people watching, but at the same time we want them to have that leadership role. And like, what are we going to do today, Mr. Jones? We're going to have a conversation, we have discussion, we have everyday discussions. Could it be about something in the news, social media? That might be it. We have guest speakers come over. A lot of my former students who are either graduated and career-wise will come back and will impart something into them. We'll talk with them. And it's so funny looking at it and watching, because I could say the same exact thing to them 20 times over. But as soon as that one comes over here, and he says something, it's like, oh, wow. So I love it. And it's like we give back that way. We might have a field trip or two if we get to go to like a college or something like that.
Oh, we gonna have some field trips. Y'all coming to Delaware.
Guaranteed.
Y'all coming to the science department of Delaware. Y'all coming.
And that's from my part right here. So like we'll be meeting 2 days. So the first day with that will be said, and the next day, of course, will be Wednesday, and then that's when James will come in with his portion.
And your tribute to this program will
It's definitely gonna be more on the athletic side, but to be honest, I can't wait to just get in and feel the vibe. For me, that's the thing.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Because I want to talk. You know, I like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
How was your day? What's going on at school? Who got a girlfriend? What we got going on?
Well, I'm sure they all do.
Yeah. So even before we get to either the breakdown of boxing or whatever we got going on today, my first priority is to go in there and meet these young men. See how they think. See what's going on in their lives, and figure out how I relate to that. Because then once you build that trust with them, anything you give them, they take.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
They definitely do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Can we kind of talk a little bit about the young, inspiring man, my favorite guy that you have taken from this adolescent stage all the way up to this great amateur boxer?
You want to talk about Najee?
Absolutely want to talk about Najee.
I
absolutely do.
So,
when I first met him, he stole my heart, and he still has it. He's still putting up them little heart emojis and all that good stuff. I think he got a girlfriend now, because I think he stopped. I think he got a girlfriend now.
Because I said, hey, bro, what you got going on there?
That's right. He's doing little heart emojis on stuff. You got a little jealous. Stop it. You got jealous. Cut it out.
What you doing?
Cut it out. Yeah. Cut it out.
So, to be honest, it's a good story.
It's a wonderful story.
Najee is a kid that I met in the gym. Really quiet kid. A lot of people didn't really mess with him because he was quiet. He wouldn't say 2 words to you when I first met him. But I'm like, he in here every day. He's dedicated to it. Nobody's really giving him that attention. So it was like one day I was like, what's up, man? Like, what you got going on? And he was like, I'm trying to get ready for a fight. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get you ready for this one. You know what I'm saying? And throughout that time, I started learning about him. I go pick him up from home. I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, hey, I really don't have a lot of family. They don't really, they made some decisions that put me in a difficult spot. Sure. And I'm kind of out here by myself.
Wow.
And you talking about, at that time, I want to say it was like 17 or 18 years old. And it just kind of, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So just the conversations that we had every day, because I'm the same way with him. We have difficult conversations. I do not care about having the difficult conversations.
You gotta have them. Oh my goodness.
You have to.
And it
sets them up for life.
It does. Because you're going to go through some difficult things.
Yes, you are.
It's going to be a heartbreak. Somebody going to break your heart. You're going to make some mistakes out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? And he made some mistakes. We talked about it. And then it was just one day. Actually, we went into his first fight with me, and he stopped the guy in the first round. And I was like, oh, we got something.
Oh, we got something in our hands now. Like, we got something. We got something.
We got something. And from that moment, I was like, look, man, I remember. I picked him up, and actually, I think it was the beginning of COVID, and it was only one gym open, and it was out in Bel Air. So I went all the way down the Middle River, White Marsh area, drove all the way back out to Bel Air, and we was just sitting in the car because he never talked. He wouldn't say anything.
Right.
He didn't trust anyone. So I'm like, look, what you got going on? He like, I don't know. I just go to home. You know how he tells me.
Yes.
I just
I
walk
can
to
barely
work.
understand
I
what
walk to
that-
Home Depot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, well, what you really want to do? You know what I'm saying? He was like, I want to fight. Like, I really feel like I could do something with this. And I was like, well, I know you got in a bad situation right now, but I'm here to help you.
Wow.
But one thing is as I help you, it's go time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you will grow up, you will adjust to these difficult situations, and now now he's starting to become a tight young man.
Yes,
You
he
know what I'm
is.
saying?
Yes,
It's like,
he is.
Now, if I brought him in here right now, he don't do nothing but smile. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes, he
That's what I'm
does.
saying.
I mean, and that's crazy to me because we started sitting in my car. And he wouldn't say nothing.
Solace.
2 words. You all
Wow.
right? Yeah. And that was it.
Wow.
Now he talked to me the whole time. I'm like, Najee, shut your hands up. Excuse my language.
That's okay.
But when I tell you, that's my man because we've been through so much.
How long is, I know he's with you now,
So,
but how long has it been? He's actually with him.
yeah, he lives with me now.
Lives with
I
him.
moved him in with me. He's been living with me for going on 3 years now.
3 years.
And that's what he needed.
To me, it's crazy, y'all, because I don't have any kids of my own. So to me, I didn't realize how difficult it would be. Until some things just hit me in the face. And I'm like, oh, I was not prepared for this. All right, let's go. And I learned. I put a little something in my notebook so I have my thoughts together before we had this conversation. I want to make sure that I'm not too aggressive in this conversation, even though I'm pissed off, but I want him to understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, I've grown as a man.
That was the point that we made earlier.
Yeah.
Wasn't that was kind of like the point that we made earlier?
Right.
Is the things that we're doing in life, can we reciprocate it?
Right.
Right? And can we project it on to someone else?
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing they have to do is they have to learn that.
Right.
The offset is a learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of these things are learned behavior. These kids didn't come into the world like that. No, they sat. And again, some of them were learned behaviors from what they saw.
Right.
So they're just mimicking what they saw. So I think we need to tread a little lighter. But society has it to the point now where you go jump in, fit in, or we just going to throw discard to you.
Right.
That's how society is bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how they're bringing it. And these kids are like, listen, if I don't have the newest Jordans, then I ain't nobody. Let me go hurt myself, or let me go do something crazy,
right.
or whatever. If I don't look the part, or if I don't have the best weave. When I was in school, I'm gonna show y'all some pictures. I had ponytail, was crooked and everything. My mama did not know how to do no hair. But my mama did not know that. My first degree was a cosmetology degree. I got a full license because I wasn't going to be in these streets looking crazy. Hear me? Because if there's a will, there's a way. And I said, I'm going to start doing my own hair.
That's right.
Okay. And some days, I got to do this own weave up in here. You know what I mean? And COVID taught me a whole bunch. I got when I started watching them YouTube, them frontals and all that stuff. Boy, I was in it. I'm trying to tell you, educating yourself in every diameter of the business of educating yourself. Okay.
Definitely.
But the problem is we don't have enough of those people.
It's few and far in between
that want to be those educators. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't, and then like now I'm coming out of my reign of educating. I've been educating for so long that I've gotten to the point, and I think you and I talked about it when we was in school. I don't like it anymore. I'm not saying I'm quitting Delaware. I'm not saying that I'm quitting. I'm just saying I'm not. You run this course after a while.
Right.
My motivational speech is every 5 years you should be doing something different.
That's right.
Every 5 years you should be doing something different. And even though your business is thriving, but in 5 years you should be changing the name. You should be doing something different within your business to build more capital funding. So guess what? Every 5 years you have an opportunity to keep building at a child until they're 21 years old. Mm-hmm. Why can't we continue to build?
That's right.
We have to continue to build, because if not, you see what the streets of Baltimore is looking like. We don't even have to go to the streets of Baltimore. No. Right here in Harford County.
Right. Yeah.
Let's talk. We won't even go to Baltimore. Let's talk about what happens right here in Harford County. Mm-hmm. We don't have anything else after 13 and is it 13 or 14 with the Boys and Girls Club? What else do we have? And then you can't employ them till 15 and 9 months.
Right.
So they have that. Listen, that gap is too big.
Yeah.
From 13 to 15, almost 16, we lost them right there. Mm-hmm. They got stagnant. Nothing grows in stagnant water.
That's right.
Cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. filled of bacteria. We have some good bacteria, but most of it isn't. So from 13 to 15, we lost.
Yeah.
So by you guys bringing this after school program and this mentorship program, I love Aberdeen. I'm here. I'm going to support till no not one. And listen, I don't like throwing myself. Y'all know how listen, I'm too old to be throwing myself around now here. I'm too old for that. I don't like to throw myself. I don't like to throw my support. I don't like to throw my funding into anything that we can't build together. And it has to be for the betterment of the community.
It does.
Okay, because I can leave here with nothing, because that's what I'm gonna leave here with. I ain't never heard anybody say, they took all this stuff and came back and God said, bring all your jewels, bring everything. And he ain't say that. But what I would like to leave for my children and my grandchildren, I just had a new grandson. What I'd like to leave with them is my legacy. To know that, hey, my mom was on the forefront. She fought for this. She fought for that. Right. To make a better way. Okay. And that's what this program is about. This program is about making a better way. And like, again, merging you two together is going to be fire.
We're going to have a ball.
What I'd like to see, absolutely, change lives. Y'all already did it when y'all united. I haven't heard one thing about anything but let's win. Let's go. Let's win. Mr. Zeno was a hard catch here to get him on this show tonight. But guess what? I challenged him and he came for the challenge. That just set precedence in my mind to say, let me keep challenging.
That's it.
Let me keep challenging. Because it is, even though we're working with the youth and we're working with the young men, it is my duty to challenge you two to be better men.
That's right.
Even though sometimes y'all be like, y'all egos won't let us. But when I'm allowed in, when I'm allowed in, I'm gonna bring the fire. And I don't let up.
I know.
Speak over it. I'm not going to let up. So what I'd like to do is challenge the both of you to come alongside a brass mill and make this thing more for the public as well as the school-age children that you will be working with. I think the community needs this. But guess what? There's a lot of mentorship programs, right? That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with sharing this, man. But what I want from you two, I want you two to be set apart from all the rest. How are you guys going to do that? Because, everybody doing mentorship programs. So how are you two going to make your mentorship set apart? What are you guys going to offer that's going to keep you set apart from Bill's mentorship? Because, there's a whole bunch of mentorships.
Right. Yeah.
What can one of you tell me, both of you, tell me what you think you can do to, make it just one shot, one-stop shop.
It's gonna be real.
I love it.
This is.
I love that. That's right there.
We live excuse my language, but we live this shit.
We do every day.
Every day. What I give to someone else's child is what I learned from my experience. It's what I lived. It's the days that I went to therapy and I learned how to deal with my own trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's just real. That's the only way I can put it, because that's all I can give you every day. There is no faking this for me. There is no fake emotion. Everything is raw. When you see Coach Chiles every day, the smile I give you is genuine. And it's all energy. You know me. I come in your office. When I step in that office, I'm there. Right?
Yes. When he steps in my building, I know he's here because he lets everybody know Coach Chiles is in the building. I'm like, he almost sit down somewhere wait his turn. He ain't got no appointment. He don't even make no appointment no more, Zeno. He just walk on in. Hey, he talk about all the staff. How y'all doing? Like
his office too.
Huh?
This is office too.
No, he ain't got no office.
It might as well be.
He ain't got no office. He got no office.
The way I walk in there.
Yeah, he just walk in down the hallway. I can hear him coming. Hey, stop at everybody's door. Everybody's door. Then he tell people, bring it in, give him a hug, all kinds of stuff. Just a hot mess.
It's me.
But he does bring the energy, and that energy is just valuable. Yeah. And the other day I was having a bad day, and he came up in there. I was like, what? That a bad day that went on down by the wayside. I'm laughing and joking. I said, wait a minute, I had a bad day. Don't come in here with that.
Hold on, man. You said you was laughing and joking.
Well, you know.
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Doc Stacy don't have no sense of humor. She don't laugh at nothing. You want to tell us the joke?
I'll save it to the end.
Yeah.
I'll save it to the end. Mr. Zeno, what you gonna bring? Because he's gonna bring energy, and
I'm the laid back one. I will say that I'm transparent though, so that's the thing.
love
like
it.
So
Energy,
with me, I'm
transparency.
transparent. I'm gonna give you exactly what it is, what's to be said, and that's it. And I'm gonna be the one to bounce back, or I'm gonna show that love, show that emotion as well too. But at the same time, I know I'm just laid back as well too. So it's like
right.
But I love the trajectory of you though. When you project, you project. And you know how to project. You know when to project. And when you know how to project as a man, it gives people a sense of safety. Okay, I want y'all to remember that even in your relationships as you go forth, neither one of you being married, when you project your yet, or whatever way y'all despising here, it gives women, okay, and this is what you're setting these young men up to be, husbands to these women,
right?
Okay, great partners to these women. When you can project onto a young man and show them that there's love, there's emotion, there's feeling, there's care, guess what he does? He then takes and projects it on right back to what he loves. And if he loves this female, he's going to show what he's being taught.
Right.
Because we have so many men out there today who weren't taught to love. So many men who weren't taught to care. So many men who said, you know what, it's just my job to go to work and get a paycheck and be a provider.
Right.
No. And as you see, we have so many broken homes from those men that want to just go and be a provider. Yeah. Because at home, you got to come back and re-nurture everything within the home.
That's right.
Okay, because with my boys, I can only raise my boys to a certain age to where I gotta let them go and be with a man that's gonna teach them how to be a man. I'm not taking up from women, but that's a road that we need to get up out of.
That's true.
You know, it's a road that we need to get out of. You know, I knew at the age of 12, 13, my boys need somebody. We got mentorships, and this is where y'all come in. Because what do you do with a single mother who says, "Listen, I did the best. I'm doing the best I can,
and I'm having a world of trouble all the time.
I'm doing the best I can. I need your help." Right?
So we get that every day. We deal with that.
Yeah.
So I bring my son to you, and he act a whole ball of mess. I never forget. I took my son to a little mentorship program. He act a whole ball of mess. Before I knew it, a couple weeks, they was saying he couldn't come back. But you gave up. You gave up on him. But he's 13, 14. This is the behavior.
Consistency. Yes, that's the key right there as well. So because like you're saying, and I know you get the same thing too. Parents will text me, parents will call me, your boy's acting up. Put him on the phone. Check him like that.
Yeah.
He's slacking in this grade right here. He's slacking this area over here. Get at him. Got you.
No problem.
That's what, and they need that though.
They do that consistency. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like I said, and I know you deal with it a lot. But my concern is, as I'm telling you both, is that in my mind, the reason why I want to help so much is because, again, you are building the foundation for what's next in our generation.
That's right.
And we need more husband and wife teams. We've steered away from that. We're losing that. We're losing that battle strong. Or even if it doesn't work out in the husband and wife dynamic, we need strong women to say, "Hey, I got a strong Mr. Zeno." That's okay. You know, I'm never alone, because we always have a Mr. Chiles and we always have the Mr. Zeno. We always have Mr. Jones, rather. We have those people. That's when I tell you guys, you gotta have to be that I am person. If you're gonna stand 10 toes down in this mentorship, I am here to stand on top of your toes. My whole 165 pounds of me on top of your toes, because I'm going to get heavy when I see that you guys. See, that's the thing. If you can upstand the weight of yourself and upstand the weight of your mate, then you're on top.
Right.
Then you're on top.
That's right.
Okay? Because two strong forces driven together don't do nothing but soar.
That's it.
You don't do nothing but soar. So we want to build these young men to where they are looking to soar. And when you're, again, with the trajectory of being good, decent men, one of the things that he talked about, and I love how they came in suits and ties.
Yeah.
What? I was excited about that. They came in suits and ties and all that good stuff. I was just so excited about that.
They act a different way. That's
You do.
like that.
Oh, when you get dressed up and cute. Oh, I know sometimes when them heels start biting back, and I still, they took me. I was at Aberdeen. I had on heels and everything. Mr. Zeno didn't tell me he was going to take me on a long tour, the whole building. But sis did it in them heels up and down. He said, "Oh, you want to take the elevator?" No, y'all walking, I'm walking too.
Yeah, you was tough that day.
I threw them shoes off when they both walked away. I put them in the bag and got my flip-flops on. But little did they know I kept stride with them, okay? They had their little tennis shoes and all that stuff on. But I'm just trying to tell you, when you look good, you feel good.
That's right.
Yes.
You feel good. Are you guys going to keep challenging them?
Yeah, you have to encourage
good,
them.
good.
We also do the same thing with just in general to look good, to smell good, hygiene and
That's
stuff.
right.
Yes, and that's something that you guys are all going to
important.
be. You're going to be teaching those things as
No,
well.
yeah.
And you know, I'm gonna tell you guys as we're getting ready to come to close. Don't forget about the the younger generation, the 21-year-olds, the 21 to 30. They need you guys as well.
Yeah.
So if you can grab a hold of some of them too, don't forget about them. I have a 24-year-old right now, and James always is speaking something into him, you know, and it's great that even you will, once you have your children, you will know that parenting never stops. And it's still with him, he's 24. It takes a village. And when I get good men around me, the first thing I want to do is get them to grab a hold of my son and be like, "Look, hey, you fell short today," you know, and see, my son works for me. So he gets to see Doc during the day, right? But don't get it twisted, because mama will come out the cage in a heartbeat. Okay. And it's already hard work. Can you imagine working for your mama? You know what he told me the last time we was in here, we was doing a show together? He said, you know, sometimes it's hard working for you, mama. I said, what? You spoiled, you get everything. He said, you know, just walking into your office and seeing all those degrees like around you. And he told me, take a look over there in my office. And I looked like a silly, but he said, what you see? I said, I see that you about to get motivated and put some stuff. He said, no, you see empty walls, but you gave me the ambition to make sure that they're full.
That's right. That's right. I love it.
Because you're a leader. You're a leader. And to be 24 years old and own your own podcast studio and to be just hitting the margin on all great things, all because your mother believed in you.
Right.
And I believed in him through a pandemic. He ain't have not a nickel nor a dime.
Hey, well, you got to give him a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want to give a shout out to Saquon, letting people know that he is the podcast manager here. He is rocking. He is rolling. A lot of people are scared to come on to do podcasts. Podcast is just telling your story. That's all you're doing is telling your story. And you're just trying to get your message out to the world about what you're doing and how you're doing it effectively. So we're going to be pressing Mr. Zeno to see if we can get him on to do a podcast show, because he's quiet right now, but this man is full of wealth, knowledge, motivation, projection. I'm trying to tell you, I sat and had a conversation with him. I was woe bomb. I was like, "What y'all two young men been? Why y'all ain't 50? 48, 40 something. Why y'all ain't 40 something?"
Don't be rushing.
Leave them alone. Leave y'all alone with that.
Don't be rushing it now.
But tonight we also want to give a quick shout out to you, Mr. Chiles.
Oh yeah.
We want you to. Oh, so tonight we are wearing Mr. Chiles's. Go ahead.
This is my business right here.
This is his new business, and we want to talk about that real quick.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
You know, I got to make it quick because I got a big show coming.
Go ahead. You got a big show coming on.
But Inspire You is definitely something that I sat back on the couch and I was like, what do I do every day? What's my goal every day? And it's not even just for the kids. It's every day that I wake up. When I go to the gym, I stop in the grocery store, at the gas station. I am here to inspire you. So it clicked. So with Inspire You, being that it's my first business, we're gonna take it. We're gonna try to take it as far as we can, whether it be through this boxing avenue, whether it be through the mentorship program. I got so many ideas that sometimes Stacey got to bring me back in. Like, all right, let's work on this one first.
One at a time, baby.
You know what I'm saying? But to be a young Black man with my own business, getting ready to do some great things, all the plans are now in line. I can't wait to come back and tell y'all more about it.
You will be back. He will be back.
Definitely.
He is now a licensed registered business owner.
Right.
We started this walkthrough about 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see, tomorrow I'm going to put up pictures of him signing his paperwork. He is official. Inspire You is his thing. It's his brand. I'm going to stand again in support of it. I am his business coach, and everything that we do, we make sure. And sometimes you have the correct answer, you have that, but you just need that person behind you to give you that push. Exactly. Listen, a pastor needs a pastor. A therapist needs a therapist. A business coach needs a business coach. So when you need, you need. And that's the greatest way. I have a business coach, and I was businesswoman of the year. So and I needed a business coach to keep me together. Right. And you need all those things to collaborate into one. And I am proud to be your business coach. Every goal that we have set, I keep challenging him. Somehow this knucklehead meets him. I'm like, I'm just, and I told him the other day in my office, I'm just waiting for you to mess up. What I tell you? I'm waiting for you to mess up so I can skin you alive. I ain't scared. He said, I ain't scared. And every challenge that I've thrown at him, and actually, to be honest with you, James was actually, I was done with coaching. I already had, and he'll tell you I have files forever. I'm a business coach to a lot of people. And when he moseyed his little stuff in there, I said, James, I said, I'm really at capacity, but I'm trying to think what I can do for you. Like I'm really at capacity. And then as I started working with him and started I started going, I went to a fight with him, and I wanted to see the realness. Because when you're coaching someone, if you're sitting in my office telling me what you want to tell me, no, I said, when's the next fight? He would, Doc, next fight. We drove 2.5 hours. I drove 2.5 hours to get to this fight. And he said, I said, look, y'all got some VIP tickets. Y'all got VIP because I need to be VIP. He was like, Doc, well, I want you to be VIP. I want you to be down on the floor with us. I said, you sure? Because you're not being there screaming and stuff. I bought my gun. I wasn't playing. I ain't fighting. I'm too old to be fighting. He was like, I want you front and center. But I was able to see him in motion, to see the love and what he had to offer. Before I was going to put my name on the line, I wonder, you can't sit in the office and be dictative. No, I got to go see what you're doing and see what you're about. And that's why I love the fact to see you in action at Aberdeen. I started seeing all the kids run over and talk to you. I was eyeballing you that whole time. I was like, oh, so this the guy, Mr. Zeno. Yeah. And then Destiny Baker walked into my office. Yes. So tell her this quick story. Destiny works for me. She is actually one of my youth workers. Okay. And she went over, she said, you got this award from Aberdeen? I said, yeah. She said, what you know about Aberdeen? I said, girl, please, I knew Aberdeen when it was a dirt road. Stop playing with me. Don't do that. She said, who you know? So I started naming off, Dr. Bell, Dr. Thornton, Jamia, naming off some people that I knew. And I was like, yeah, Mr. Zeno. She said, oh my God, you know Mr. Zeno? I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh my God, he is the greatest person on earth. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Des. And this came from a young Black female. She said, he even came to one of my track meets. Mm-hmm. She was like, I'm trying to tell you. I said, so what? I said, then I picked her brain. I said, what do you like about him? She said, you could always go and talk to him, and he would always try to find a solution, whether you were right or wrong in it. And that's what I liked about her. She said, whether you were right or wrong in it, he was going to try to find a solution. So that is a young lady who is now at Harvard Tech. Yep. And she still gets excited when she hears the name Mr. Zeno. Yeah. I said, girl, I thought you was going to jump over this desk. Like, wait a minute, slow down. She was like, I was like, slow down. She said, do you work with him? I said, I am going to be working. She said, oh my God, this is a match made in heaven. Mm-hmm. She said, I got Doc, who's the head of and I support her in all her movement, and I mentor her. And she said that Mr. Zeno, like, wow, she doesn't know you yet, Mr. James. She will, right. But she will. She will. She will. So see that excitement that a child, and I believe she's like 14. Yes. She's 14. And the greatest aspect, the greatest aspect of her knowing you showed through her body language and her energy. Wow. And that means you made an impact. That's right. Right. There's nothing greater in a child's life besides making an impact. That's right. Okay. Especially, and it means more when they're not yours. Yes. It means more. That's true. When they're not yours. So tonight we gave our social media land a little tidbit of what we're doing. And again, name your program at Aberdeen Middle School. Young Men on Tour. Young Men on Tour with Mr. Zeno. If you want any information, we're on Facebook now, and the email. Let me get the email. We will have Saquon post post the email
Yeah.
for you, and if he leaves us any contact information, we will get that to you as well. And if you need more information, you can also contact me here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill, 410-297-9300, and I will pass the information along to how your child is. If that child is at Aberdeen Middle School and he's a young male, how he can get involved, and we can get that information over to him. We have Mr. James Chiles. You want to tell us where we can find you?
I'm always around.
Oh yeah, he is always around.
I'm always around. But I'm down at the Baltimore gym called the Gogi Project down in Baltimore. Now we have Inspire You that's going down. But you can always catch me on Facebook, James A. Chiles. I am now on, I think I got 2 pages on Instagram now.
Yes, you do.
I am 12 Rounds with Chiles. Actually, we
Yeah,
are
he does.
on live after this show. I got Haven Brady on the
Stick
show.
around. He is
Stick
coming
around.
live with his show tonight.
And
Stick around. Stick
That's
around.
it. We're going to cut up a little bit. This guy is another young man. I think he's 20 years old. He was ranked number 1 in the nation. He is now 7-0 as a pro, signed the top rank at
Look at
ESPN.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a nice, decent show coming up. But catch me on, I'm on Instagram, ChilesPlay_fitness. I'm on Instagram with 12 Rounds with Chiles. I'm on YouTube, 12 Rounds with Chiles. I'm on Facebook, 12 Rounds with Chiles. I got a whole lot going on.
He is on Spotify. He is on
Spotify,
Apple. He's on 7 different platforms.
Yeah,
The business coach, right?
definitely.
I'm doing that role.
Yeah.
7 different platforms.
Right.
He is on with 12 Rounds with Chiles. You're on 7 different platforms that are all progressing along really well. So tonight, if you want to leave my show, stick around with us because we're going to bring 12 Rounds with Chiles. Now, he tried to cut up on this show, but we ain't going to let him cut up. I ain't let him cut up. We got guests in the building. We got Mr. Zeno in the building.
Yes,
and he wasn't trying to cut up with us. He was laughing at us, but he wasn't really trying to cut up with us. Okay. They would talk about me and my joke. Let me tell my joke.
I'm going to be honest. I got to slide off because I got to get him on.
Oh, you lucky.
Because we're doing a picture.
Oh, you lucky. He's lucky that he ain't going to let me tell my joke.
You can
But
tell
that's
the
okay.
joke.
No, thank you. Because the joke really wasn't worth
She was
telling.
going to say why the chicken cross road, y'all.
You ain't let me tell it. I was gonna say it better. I was gonna say it better. And Mr. Zeno was good. He already told me the answer to it, so we good. So tonight,
Well, why did he cross the road?
to get to the other side.
That's a hell of a joke. Good job.
Get to the other side.
All right with me.
And Mr. Zeno laughed at it. I'm learning the sense of, look, and he's still laughing. I'm learning the sense of humor thing, y'all. That's okay. But we are doing great works here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill. Again, if you want to stop by to do our unveiling of our brand new building, the Business Suites, the Executive Suites of Brass Mill will be open August 1. Thank you guys to my Delaware staff who worked hard. We are open in Delaware. We are called the Business Suites of Brass Mill of Delaware. We are now just embarking into the building in Elton. We have broke ground in there. So we are moving along. We are trudging along. We do have some office suites available in our other building. If you guys are looking for a home, not just the home, okay? So when you come to us, it's just not about business. It's about joining a family. We are a family here. And those are some of the things you need to help grow. Yes. Yeah, I'm throwing the village out there to you. So again, we put the phone number down below. You can contact me at that phone number. We are here in the building from 9 to 5. We have all staff. We're ready to receive you. Keep watching and stay tuned. Watch and see what these 2 guys are going to do. I'm trying to tell you, if you have not look these 2 guys up, I'm trying to tell you, you guys are missing out on a whole bunch here. These are 2 brothers who are trying to inspire our future. And that's where we're going with it, with our future. We're going to make sure they're all right.
To the edge.
To the edge.
Yeah.
To the edge. Hopefully, upon no return from where they were. We want growth in this thing.
Definitely.
We want growth in this thing. Thank you so much for watching Know Your Purpose tonight. This guy's got to skate off to do another show.
12 rounds
this
with
young
Chiles.
man has got to skate off to, you don't know? He's got to skate off. All right. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Take care.